rain, and my heart colder. No more in the face of death and exile from a mortal land. Fairer than the bleak moor are the fields of France, where a smooth, courtly language flows from the tongue in pleasant chateaux on the Loire. So, why does the heart yearn for the drizzling crags of home and the poor hovels that scatter the mist on the damp heather of the west? The country of drovers, vendetta and harsh words, of an old and dying poetry of long-forgotten heroes. And where, in those brown moors, or in all of Scotland, could buy the elegance of one Parisian street? Now that the walls of Dunedin of the Kings no longer offer defence, the only battlement is the hedge of my clenched teeth around a Gaelic that carries the rough language of Strathspey. This is the poor excuse, the last defence that turns my face to the rain and breaks my heart. So, my story begins here, in the district of Kincardine, where I was born in the year 1700. My arrival must have come as something of a surprise to my mother and father, because they were both approaching 50 at the time of my arrival. Both having been widowed, they had embarked on a second marriage in the hope of companionship rather than in the remotest expectation of starting a family. But nevertheless, when I arrived, they did their very best for me, and I loved them dearly. They procured for me a good education at the Inverness Grammar School, rounded off, as was the custom of the day, by a grand tour of Europe. So it was that I arrived in the town of Saumur with a letter of introduction to a certain Simon Fraser, Lord Lovat. "Ah, John Roy, I am delighted to make your acquaintance, young man. The Frasers and the Stuarts have always been firm allies, and your father a very loyal friend of mine through good times and bad. However, I should caution you that in my present circumstance I may not be of any great assistance in the furtherance of your career in Scotland." "Oh, why ever not, sir? Surely you'll return there one day." Lord Lovat gave a mirthless laugh. "I very much doubt that. You see, I am under sentence of death in my native land." "But this is appalling, sir. How did this state of affairs come about?" "Aye, it's a sorry tale, John Roy. A story of betrayal, vendetta and vengeance." Lord Lovat revealed how, as a young man, he had no expectations of inheriting his title, being the younger son of a younger son. But then his older brother Alexander had fallen at the Battle of Killiecrankie. His cousin Hugh, the ninth Lord Lovat, had died young, leaving no male issue. Whereupon my father became the 10th Lord Lovat, or rather, that's what should have happened, had it not been for the intervention of a certain Lord John Murray, Marquis of Tullibardine. Tullibardine apparently claimed that Hugh had left his titles and his estates to an ally of his, the Master of Saltoun. Of course, Hugh would have never done any such thing. It was a complete fabrication on Tullibardine's part. So, what Lord Lovat then did was arrest the said Master of Saltoun, locked him up in a room, erected a gallows outside his window, and informed him he would be hung on the same gallows the following morning if he didn't agree to sign various legal documents put before him, renouncing all claims to Lovat titles and lands.